Astra Lost in Space is a 12-episode sci-fi anime developed by Studio Lerche in 2019. Not to be confused with Lost in Space, an 83-episode American sci-fi show developed by 20th Century Fox Television in 1965, as they are not in the same universe. Although, stuff like this is kind of the reason why I originally preferred to call it in Japanese names instead of localized English. There's always a chance of some fuckery like this, and then I have to either call it Astra or abbreviate. None of this would be a thing if I just had the choice to call it Kanato no Astra and be done with it, but no! English-speaking people are dumb. Their reptilian brains just couldn't comprehend the insane complexity of Japanese, and now I have to think how to make sure people searching for 2018 remake of Lost in Space won't randomly find this video. But I digress. Space Lost in Astra is a science fiction anime, which is always a fun topic, as science fiction these days either tries to be as needlessly realistic as possible or might as well just be called science fantasy and be done with it. This anime falls into the second category more, typical for Japanese sci-fi really, so don't expect 2001 A Space Odyssey or Interstellar here. But it's okay as long as the plot is engaging, right? Oh, that's right. The plot. Well, you know the drill by now, people. Spoiler alert, Arya Stark is the bastard child of Voldemort. Spoiler alert. Now then... Okay, now I have to take you back to 1962. You see, the Cuban Missile Crisis is... This is the year 2063. People can travel to other planets freely, but... The story technically doesn't have a main hero. Every single one of them is a hero in his own right. So they encounter a black space anus, which they obviously wanted to dodge because why won't you? Everyone loves space anus. And so they acquire a spaceship, but... Now hiking through 5 planets... Yes, because taking off your helmets in an unknown environment is a brilliant idea, you fucking... But wait, it appears that their parents were onto then he finds a gun and... Oh, that's right. Guns are banned in this universe because of course it's Japanese. How the fuck do these emu-looking things survive or look like that in 085? But wait, she's actually not a massive bitch, she just has temper issues. But then we find that he is intersexual on a planet of intersexuals. How thematic. But then they're all cloned. Hey, remember that stuff about Cuban Missile Crisis? Well, forget about it. So they interrogated this Russian girl and find out that in actuality this is... But remember that enemy I mentioned? Well, he is revealed to be... And the Earth gets killed by an asteroid which puts the Earth into new ice. So the clone of a king wants to bang the clone of king's daughter because... Communism! And that is why Puerto Rico should not become a part of the United States. That's about it, really. Yeah, the plot can roughly be described as incredible tales. The more we go, the more incredible these tales get. Now, to the show's credit, it's not that hard to follow the story once you get used to the narrative, but my problem with it is that every single episode there is a plot twist and it kind of becomes hard to track if you binge watch it. Unfortunately, the biggest problem of the plot isn't even the fact that it puts some Hollywood directors to shame in the amount of mystery boxes and plot twists, it's the fact that they're so obviously telegraphed it kind of makes the plot twists a bit irrelevant. There was one scene where an influential politician and the father of one of the protagonists was asked about the fate of his child, and his delivery was so wooden and sterile you'd have to be severely brain damaged in order to not get the gist. The graphics are fine, somewhere on the upper scale of mediocrity, and science fiction parts are a joke. This might as well be fantasy with how it treats the topic, but it's not a bad thing, really, even if a bit disappointing. The music is forgettable, honestly. Not even the opening stuck with me. Overall, I had a fun ride with the anime, but I can't really say I liked it, mostly because it's too fast-paced for its plot twists to work and too abrupt for the mystery boxes to flourish. As usually, such a series would greatly benefit from at least 1-2 filler episodes that could ease the tension a bit and build character development, but without it, it feels like your average early 90s science fiction on fast forward.